we went over there, did our job, came back, and went back to work or school, whatever we did. So your interest in us is really great. And I think if it's important, I'll tell them I'll call them back. Anyway,
I forgot to turn it off. It's off now.
the fact that you're doing some work on the wall of remembrance is just great. We're just, and we have our own wall of remembrance right here. And Chuck will tell you all about it. But one thing, 297, Chuck, KIA, Oregon.
298.
298
8.
names on the wall here.
Okay. And it's right here. These are people that were killed in Korea from Oregon. There are 298 of them. And the average age, as we all know, is probably 18. Those guys, and I like that phrase, forever young. They didn't get old. Never. So anyway, it's nice to have you here, and I'm glad we have some good weather for you, and we'll have a nice day. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you so much. Well, I'd like to first start out by saying the Korean traditional way of saying hello, which is 안녕하세요. And thank you so much, Greg, for organizing this, because I don't know if you know, but Greg actually is a returned Peace Corps volunteer who served in Korea after you left. So as you both, all know better than I do, Korea was just, a war-torn country in ashes. And so I consider the returned Peace Corps volunteers kind of like the next, veterans who went to Korea and helped make it become what it is today. And so I know we have a reporter here, and the first thing he asked me here was, why are you doing this? And he didn't quite understand. And he said, do you have any Korean War veterans, like grandpas in your family? I said, no. Do you have any divided families? Because the war did separate 10 million Korean families. And I said, no. And so I do understand that it's probably not the most common thing for somebody now, a little bit older now, but when I started out, I was 23, 4. Why? Because I almost died from a car accident, and then I remember, and I'm a very proud pastor's kid, so I was always aware of that concept of grace, that, I didn't do anything, but God loved me so much that he gave his life. I didn't do anything, but my parents, loved me so much that they would do anything for me. And so when I got better, I said, you know what, I want to go to Washington, D.C., and I want to make a difference in this world. And that's when I first visited the Korean War Memorial there. And I was so embarrassed because I didn't know much about the Korean War. Being both a Korean and American, we don't learn much about it in our books. And I just didn't, like, the fact that it was called the Forgotten War really, really just devastated me. And I said, wow, what can I do to maybe help people remember? If it's forgotten, as a young person, I can't end the war, right? But I thought I could maybe help people remember. And so in Washington, D.C., everybody talks about passing a bill. So I said, I'm going to pass a bill too, right? Little did I know that was probably a very bold thing to even imagine. So I lobbied Congressman Charlie Rangel because he's a Korean War veteran. So a lot of people think, well, she did all these like political things, or she was in Washington, D.C. Well, actually, it was my passion for the Korean War veterans that led me to where I was, because when the bill passed, congressman recruited me thinking, oh my God, you're so aggressive, because I was so persistent. I visited. People think, oh my goodness, she's visiting 50 states. Well, guess what? I visited all the countries that fought in the Korean War last year. And to pass the bill, I visited 435 members of Congress as well. So this visiting thing is kind of like my little modus operandi. I understand that when you keep asking and asking and asking, it does raise awareness. And so I think you mentioned that, I had all these different titles, and well, my most proud title is being the official granddaughter of Korean War veterans. And that is one that I take, very seriously, and that is one of my proudest, something that I would forever be proud of. So after my boss, the congressman, after 46 years, decided at age 86 that he was going to retire from Congress, I thought about what I wanted to do next, and I could have worked a state, and I guess I was planning to, after I returned, to go back to working in the Congress, but I said I'm going to take the veterans gave their youth, and you took 2 years, 3 years, some stayed in the service long afterwards. I'm gonna just take 4 months out of my life to travel and to say thank you, because my grandpas are not getting any younger, so I wanted to archive the stories, and I went around the world thinking I was gonna go back to normal life, right? And then when I heard from Colonel Weber at the Korean War Memorial Foundation that despite the fact the bill passed, which my boss was a sponsor, and we worked really hard to get that because due to the lack of funds that this version wasn't getting built, I said, okay, what can I do? Maybe this is why God gave me the bonus life, that maybe I could make a very small difference, and maybe I could help. So I said, what's another 3 months, 90 days? It's just so little. So I said, I'm gonna go, because I saw that there was a memorial in every single state in the Union, but people didn't know about it. So I said, I'm gonna do a twofer. I'm gonna go and meet my grandpas, thank them, but at the same time, I'm gonna make some noise. I'm gonna make some noise so that the public will not only remember you, but always do something. It's one thing to just remember, but it's actually another to say, I honor them, and what can I do? And so for them to independently raise money or whatever to help the schools or Washington have our country to honor, with the names, because people think, veterans went and died. Well, guess what? More than 36,000 died, and they were all, some were 16, right? Some were 15, I was just told today. So here I am, just to say thank you so much for your service, because if you weren't there, I wouldn't be standing here, and that's why I say I'm your granddaughter, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And so I know that I started out with the Korean way of saying thank you, but I do want to end with the Korean way of saying thank you, which is our showing our utmost respect to our elderly. So if you can also go there, I would like to say thank you. And afterwards, I have a little gift for you. I'm very excited because actually, the first that I will be actually showing this, because I'm very excited. But for now, I will put this aside and no, I'm not going to dance and sing, but something better. Again, to all my grandpas, it is with great honor and sincerity and just gratitude that I say